Hello everyone, I am Minit Pingala and today I am going to talk about the internet. So basically I'm going to talk about the different things in which we can categorize the internet and how we can access them and what they are. So to begin with, the internet can be categorized in three different things. The first one is the surface web, the second one is the deep web, and the third one is the dark web. So what is the surface web? Coming to the surface web. The surface web is something that we use every day. Now basically when we open our browser like Google Chrome or Mozilla or whatever the case may be, when we open our browser, the first thing that comes up on our screen is Google search bar. Now whatever websites that we type there and the websites that we can access through this particular Google search bar come under the surface web. So like these websites are something that we use on a daily basis, and this is a very small portion of the total internet. This is basically just 4% of the entire internet, and this is something that we use daily. It is open to all and it is indexed by the web search engines. So like basically it forms a very small part of the entire internet and it is accessible to all. Now coming to the second part, the second part is the deep web. Now what is the deep web? For example, if I have created a particular website and I don't want all the users out there to access my website, I don't want it to be public, so I just want certain friends of mine or just a few people to access the website. So what do I do in that case? Like basically first I type the name of my website. It will be like, for example, www.xyz.com, and then I put a slash, and then after the slash I put certain characters. So basically now if I do this, now I am accessing the deep web. And what happens now, only those people who have this particular link of mine, which is very long, only they can access this website and not each and everyone. So basically when we do this, we are accessing the deep web. Now things like online banking and webmail and like maybe web portals which ask us to register for a particular event or something of that sort, like these particular things use the deep web. And the deep web is also something which we have used a lot of times in our lives basically. Now coming to the third part, the third category, well, the third category is the dark web. And the dark web can be categorized as a subset of the deep web, because just like the deep web, the website, the search links of the dark web, they are not indexed by the usual Google web. So basically what happens here in the dark web is that the only difference is that if we type the name of the website in the Google search bar, we will not be able to access them. So we just can't open the surface web or just a normal browser, and then if we type the name of the websites that are accessible only through the dark web, if we type their names in the Google search bar, we won't be able to access them. We will see a page and a message will be displayed which will say that you are forbidden to use this particular website. So now basically first let me tell you what the dark web exactly is. Now whatever websites exist, whatever websites prevail in the dark web, we use them anonymously. So basically the no server and neither Google nor our network provider, no one gets to know who has used this particular website or whatever the case is. So like basically whatever we do, it's anonymous. So taking the advantage of this particular thing, a lot of illegal stuff happens on the dark web. For example, selling drugs or like other criminal activities. A lot of illegal stuff happens on the dark web. So a question arises, why the dark web? Of course it also has its own disadvantages. Now when we use like the surface web, like for example if we create an account on Facebook, or when we create an account on Google, or when we go online, basically our information is not private. Google has all our information, Facebook has all our information. Basically, we don't get a lot of privacy on the internet. So an open source community was formed, which was sponsored by the US government. The US government sponsored a website called Tor, which is a fully legal website. So if we have to access any website which falls under the dark web, first we have to download Tor from the internet, from the surface web. We have to download Tor, and then we open Tor, which is just like a Google search bar, and whatever websites that we type in Tor, they come under the dark web. When we search for a particular thing on Tor, we are accessing the dark web. Now the difference here is that dark web websites are not like .com or .in. They are .onion websites. So basically what happens here is that the main use of dark web is that we maintain anonymity, and that is like if we want to do something on the internet and we don't want each and everyone to get, we don't want each and everyone to know what we are doing. We want to maintain anonymity, we want to maintain privacy. So in that case, we can use the dark web. We are free to use the dark web. Now, lastly, to conclude, I'd like to say basically a lot of people say that we should not use the dark web a lot, we should stay away from the dark web, a lot of illegal stuff happens there, and if we use the dark web, we might get into trouble. Now, I'd like to say that this is not the case. We are free to use the dark web. It's fine. We can use Tor. If we want to make a website on the dark web, if we want to use the dark web, it's fine. We can just go, we can create a website anonymously, and we can do whatever work we want to, but we should be careful. Yeah, we should take precautions, because if we go to any particular website which we don't know who the other user of that website is, so that particular user might hack our information or use our information to do certain illegal stuff. And in this case, because it is the dark web, because there is anonymity, Google Chrome will not be able to protect us from getting into trouble. So basically, we should maintain some precautions. We should be careful while using the dark web, but it's not an issue. It's not like we shouldn't use the dark web. So yeah, basically that's all I have to say. Thanks a lot.